Reaching 9/11 and setting yourself free might cost you everything. And in the beginning you might think that it means let go of family and friends, let go of certain food choices, let go of the place you grew up, maybe even the country you grew up in, and maybe understand that it's going to cost you some of the beliefs you have had. But when you start to recognize what you really want, and that what you really want is freedom and empowerment, and to be able to deal with yourself, you might recognize that letting go of your family and friends and food choices and the country you grew up in wasn't the things that really would set you free. You will see that not so much of that time was really being spent thinking about your food choices, or being limited by the country you live in, or friends that doesn't necessarily resonate with the new you. Even though those things are going to make a tremendous impact on the life you now can have. But you will see that you have a lot more time in a day where you are active in your mind, actively choosing what to think about. You might be reacting to certain things happening in the world or in a movie, or you might want to achieve something. And how do you approach the mind game towards achieving that thing? You will have so much time in a day where your mind is active, where you are active, and where you can play a low frequency game or a high frequency game. And the better you know what you want to achieve, and the better you know what that looks like, the easier it's going to be for you to stay aware throughout all of this time in the day. The easier it's going to be to catch yourself if you're being immature or throwing a temper tantrum or having a poor mindset about how you are going to achieve this thing you want to achieve. Realizing that ultimate freedom might cost you everything means that life as you know it is going to absolutely, truly change. You might realize that some of the biggest pleasures in life, some of the things you like to do the most, are things that are absolutely low frequency. And you might get surprised to hear it, but often being immature and childish and even disliking yourself might be the greatest comfort in life. To put yourself in a tiny little cage and to think poorly of yourself and poor little me might be some of the things that you find the most pleasure in. And to recognize what this is really doing for you compared to what a high frequency mindset would do for you is going to take some work and bravery. And you might have to realize that you are very often throughout the day choosing to be sad, choosing to have a poor little me mindset, choosing to judge people, choosing to judge yourself and put a limit on what you think you can achieve or what you deserve. And it's simply because it feels good. But you just might not know what really feels good. To overcome those things and to catch them out and to gain clarity about them and to truly know that you can achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. That's going to feel in a totally different way, in a way that might be scary to many people. But you're just not used to it. And that's why it's so important to make up your mind about whether or not this 9/11 ultimate freedom really is something for you. And ultimately it is, absolutely. It's just that if you're going to be split about it, if you're going to have a big part of yourself that so often throughout the day feel sorry for yourself and that don't want to catch yourself if you're being immature and childish and poor little me, but at the same time have this part of you that wants to break free and that are going to do the work, well, the efficiency, the progress you will be able to have in a day is going to be pretty much stagnation. It's not going to be any profound breakthrough every single day. So if you can make up your mind, is this something that you truly, truly want? And are you prepared to let go of everything? Are you prepared to let it cost whatever it needs to cost? Even in times where you are unsure or feel insecure about letting go of this sadness or emotions or anger, whatever it should be, when it feels so comfortable, when it feels so right. If you can have a core determination, a mindset where you will reach 9/11, set yourself free, no matter the cost. And if there is something you need to let go of, then you will let go, no matter what. And if you realize that 9/11 and this freedom is going to be the absolute best thing for you, no matter what, compared to any low frequency illusion and misconception, then you're going to have very, very good progress. Because it's really hard work. It needs you to stay aware throughout the entire day, in every experience you have throughout the day. And you need to be prepared to catch yourself. If you're being childish or immature, if you're giving in to an illusion, if you try to protect the illusion, if you choose to think little of yourself, you need to stay aware at all times and recognize what is really going on in your mind. How do you choose to think? What choices do you choose to do? If there was one movie I would suggest you watched, it would be Elling from 2001. And there are 3 movies, and I really suggest you watch all of them. Elling from 2001, 2003 and 2005. It's going to give you an absolutely phenomenal insight what I'm talking about now, essentially. Ask yourself if you should watch it. Essentially, it's about a man that doesn't have a very good comprehension of what the truth is. And you get to see how he gives into different illusions, different low frequency mindsets, and how his immature behavior will let him do whatever he can to support these illusions, to keep them alive. And if I had any better movie to suggest when it comes to this, then I would have mentioned it. This one is as good as it gets. And watch it twice or 3 times.